Hi there, this is Jennifer Carter from Newport This Week, and I am here today with Randy Butler and Janetta Donovan, and I'm so happy to have them. They have been together for 10 years. They have a blended family, and Randy and Janetta started the Butler Basketball Club about 4 years ago. They've been a strong force within our community. They've been a huge impact on the youth on Aquidneck Island, and we wanted to just take a few minutes to talk to them about what they had planned in this upcoming week, a little bit about that and what's going on. So tell us a little bit about what you had been planning.
Yeah. So essentially, we were planning a family-friendly event that we could call a unity walk. And we purposely chose those words because it wasn't a protest. It wasn't to divide people. It wasn't to portray any image to attract any attention. It was kind of like we did when we started Butler basketball in 2016. Seneca Pender ran a really peaceful event walk, and we wanted to follow suit with that, where police officers, politicians, moms, dads, kids could come and basically just show Aquidneck Island support that we don't want to become one of those other places.
Yeah.
That we want to support our own community and be proactive instead of reactive. And we had really high hopes that it was going to be a really great event. And a lot of people have asked, why are we not doing it?
Mm-hmm.
And there was no direct threat against us. I want to make that part clear. There was nothing directed to Butler Basketball Club.
Yeah.
There were some talk going on, that there was some chatter seen on social media that there may potentially be looters coming to Newport. And for us, that just hit too close to home to, if there was any type of risk, even if it wasn't a credible threat, that we couldn't take that chance, and we had to postpone it.
Yeah, it seems almost like there's something out there that people are taking advantage of the peaceful things that others are doing, and they're using it as an opportunity to come out and hide to do other things. And I mean, I don't know if that's what's really going on, but how do you feel like that's kind of what's going on in the world right now, or is it?
Yeah, I think it's just people being copycats of other states, what's going on. They just want to be in the limelight, which is kind of dumb, truthfully.
Right.
It's kind of dumb. And like she said, it was a kid event. Like, who's going to come down to a kid event and disrupt it? So, like she said, we're getting a lot of texts, a lot of emails, calls, why we did cancel it. It's about the kids. It's
Yeah.
about the kids. It's about the kids. It's about Aquidneck Island. It's about the businesses on Aquidneck Island. This is our home turf. We can't let someone come down here and be a knucklehead and ruin it for our Aquidneck Island, and then they're gonna ruin it for Butler basketball. So our name is behind that too at the same time.
Yeah.
So safety is the key. Safety. We want our whole Aquidneck Island to be safety.
Yeah, it's so sad that you plan something that's positive and then you hear rumors that it's going to, someone's going to take advantage of that situation to do something negative. It is really difficult. Are you going to replan to have something else in the future, the same format, or what are you thinking?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's funny that you asked that, because we just had a friend in here. He's kind of part of Butler basketball. He just came in and he has a lot of great ideas. On top of, my head is always thinking. Should tell you, I'm always trying to be ahead of the schedule. We got a couple of things already planned for the future. Yes, we are gonna still do the walk. Yes, we're still gonna do the walk at Aquidneck Island. Okay, we got to let everything calm down before we can do the walk.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's the best thing. Understand? Like I said before, we want the kids to be safe. We want you guys to be safe, parents, and then we want our stores, our businesses to be fine. Because I can tell you right now, if they were to come down and loot a riot, I would never. I don't know how I would feel. I don't know how I would feel.
Yeah. When you see that stuff going on, I mean, what do you guys think? About that? What would your advice be?
I mean, I think something important to point out before we go to that is, when we started Butler basketball in 2016, one of the very first events that we talked about and put on was our annual community day. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but we teamed up local police officers with local youth from each town. So Newport police officers with Newport kids would play against Middletown police officers with Newport kids. So our idea back in 2016 was, let's start building relationships.
Yeah.
Let's start being proactive and letting people see each other for who they are, so that that divide doesn't come here.
Right.
I think we've done a pretty good job at that. I mean, yes, it still happens, but we are making a real effort so that it doesn't happen in our home.
Yeah, and I can see that. I have really enjoyed following the things that you guys do through the news, through the few times I've shown up to take pictures, and to see the interaction that you both have with the kids and the way they look up to you, and the blend of kids that are there, and they're all having a great time and interacting, and it's a good sense of community. It really is. It's amazing the things that you do, and I have, we're proud to have you as, part of the community on Aquidneck Island for sure. And you're definitely leaders within the community. So that's why we had wanted to kind of talk to you about your feelings about what's going on today, and, how can we go forward as a community, and, that type of thing.
We have a lot of conversation about this, obviously, especially in the past couple of days, because the stuff that's going on, I think, is distracting from what really needs to be talked about. And I think that it's drawing our attention to something else. So even more, the reason we want to hold conversations and have these events and have people acknowledge and talk and listen and heal and realize that there's more to this than just what's being put into our heads through the media.
It is. Yeah. I feel like with everything in the news lately, it's so hard for me to watch the slants on every television show, and the newscasters with their opinions that are definitely in their voice, that it's hard to figure out what's really happening with a lot of, not just this, but just with a lot of things, so it's so tough.
The news is our worst enemy.
Really?
The news is our worst enemy.
Although I will say it's opened up the door for a lot of great conversations. So I have seen a positive side to this. We have a very blended family. So me personally, when Randy and I started dating, I had 2 kids already who are not biracial kids. Yep. Now, Randy and I also have a child who is biracial. So there's different people in our house.
Yeah.
I think what we didn't realize is we are so complacent with it because no one in our household is racist.
Yeah.
We've grown up that way. Our kids have grown up that way, that we didn't have certain conversations either. So I think this is a good starting point for a lot of conversations to happen in people's homes.
Yeah.
And with our kids. And I think we can kind of put out a platform that there can be some positive things to come from this.
I think if anyone's going to put some positive spin on things, it's you guys. I feel like you really have, with the Butler Basketball Club and with other events that you've had through that it's just been, it's amazing. And I can't wait till you actually can have the peaceful walk and the unity walk. I think it's going to be fantastic. And it makes me so sad to see the things that are going on in other cities, and to think that people would threaten that that's going to happen here. I can't imagine that here on Aquidneck Island at all, because I feel like as a community, we're pretty strong. And, if it happened, it would be an outsider that came in and brought that here. So it's sad, but I do think you guys probably made the right decision for right now, to move the day.
I want everyone to know on Aquidneck Island, it was a tough decision.
Yeah.
Trust me. It came at me a couple of different ways, and I told him, like, I need like at least 10 hours. But as it went on, I thought about it, sat back and thought about it, and was like, you know what? We can do it at a later date.
Yeah. How were you hearing? I'm sorry. what did you, let you finish what you were saying. I
I
apologize.
said, no, just count it as a rain date.
Yeah. I think there's been a lot of rain dates lately, unfortunately. How were you hearing this stuff? Was it just through social media? Did you have any direct communication that you thought was credible, or do you think it was kind of idle threats? Like, what were you hearing? I mean, I'm seeing stuff on social media myself, but I'm not paying attention to it.
I didn't see it on social media, but the police have.
Mm. Did the police reach out to you asking you to postpone, or did you have any communication with them about it?
They called and told us, and then I called her right away.
Well, I mean, it's important to note that when we were planning this walk, we were planning it with the police. This was a team effort, so we had been in contact before any of that happened, and they just kind of reached out saying, hey, I'm getting wind of some stuff on social media. They didn't know if it was credible. I hadn't seen anything. He hadn't seen anything. So it turns out that there were no credible threats. That's what we've been told. But I think it just goes along the lines that anything that's being put out publicly right now, I think people are taking advantage of. So if there's any type of walk or rally or protest or anything, I think there's negative people looking to find those events and to put a negative spin on it.
And I like to say one thing to that too. Like you're saying, like I don't have Snapchat. She doesn't have Snapchat. So they're definitely not gonna put it on Facebook when we see it. And like you can always have a private page. So with all these kids, they're always on social network. So it probably went from one person to another person to another person. Yeah. And then what it comes back to is people got to understand it was on social network about they were going to hit Providence Place Mall too. And look what happened.
Yeah.
They hit Providence Place Mall.
It was a rumor and then it happened. So we definitely don't want any of those rumors coming true down here. I think,
And Cranston, that was social network too. They said they were going to hit Cranston, and look what happened. We had the National Guards at Cranston because people were going to try to hit. So it's better to be safe than sorry, truthfully.
Yeah. It was a tough decision, but in the end, we just came to the conclusion that if there's any type of risk, we're not willing to put everybody at risk, no matter what the outcome may or may not have been.
Yeah.
We just postpone it.
So on another note, what's up with Butler Basketball Club? Are you guys still kind of on a hiatus right now with this pandemic thing that's going on? Are you going to be going back soon? What's up with that?
We are on a little hiatus right now because we can't really do nothing. We gotta we're working on something right now. We're just waiting to go ahead. Once we get the go ahead, we'll have a couple of our teams practicing. But so our community out there, we haven't officially said it, but we usually have a summer league at this time.
Yeah.
With everything going on and the corona, a way to have summer league this year, which is big. Which is big because our summer league is like 300 to 400 kids.
Yeah, and the kids are going to miss that along with everything else, it seems. It's so heartbreaking to, not allow them to be able to socialize and play sports and stuff like that, for sure.
And truthfully, I ain't going to lie. It gives us a little rest. But I did, after a while, I did want to get back out there. I ain't going to lie. I'm like, I'm bored. I work full time still. I never be off. But I usually go to work, come home, and then I'm at basketball. That gets old very quick.
Love it, but it gets old.
it got old very quick. But besides that, so what it does though, give us, instead of a lot of basketball this summer, I was in talk with Marvin Washington, which is one of our big guys in the program too. We're already talking about some community things that we want to do besides basketball. If we can't do basketball, let's get these kids into these other things.
Yeah. So, awesome.
We're going to come to a couple of these businesses. We're going to try to, we don't want to put it out there what we're going to do, but we got some things under wrap.
Awesome. Well, I hope when you come up with what these ideas are and you're ready to share them, I hope that you'll reach out to me and maybe we can do another video call to talk about it, to get it out to the community.
Absolutely. Why not?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. And we look forward to chatting again.
Thanks for having us.
Sure thing.